trying to get through the ball. You having trouble getting through the ball? Well, to understand how to get through the ball, we also got to understand how you stand. Because many people, when they set up to the ball, are making it harder for themselves to get through the ball. Meaning this, as you set up, we see at GMS, the vast majority, 7 out of 10 people coming to see us, have their left foot straight out. Now, why is that a bad thing? Well, if I'm trying to swing and my left foot is like that, as I come through, guess what? I don't have much rotation here. This can't move because this can't move. But if I had my foot out like this, now what can I do very easy? So we had an instructor, great young man, Jonathan Smith. He's down in South Florida now teaching. And Jonathan did a study for us. We were trying to understand how far the average PGA Tour Pro has their left foot flared out, because we see so many golfers coming to see us restricting themselves with this. So John did a study, and in the study, I believe he found that the average PGA Tour Pro, if my memory serves correct, had his foot turned 13 degrees out, some more, some less. However, understand, they've been making this motion for their whole lives, every day, hundreds and hundreds of times a day. Where most golfers we see, well, they spent the last 40 years doing this and this and this. So don't have this flexibility that the Tour Pro does. Yet if they're 13 degrees out and you're only 0, how are you expecting to get through? You can do a test at home. Get set up. You don't even need a club. Get set up with your feet straight out, and then from there, try to turn and see how much you can do. I can't get more than this. So the only thing that can really move is this. So many people that are having trouble saying, I can't stop going over the top, I can't stop going over the top. Well, reason could be is you're locking this leg in, which is locking this hip in. And so now, because you're restricted, you can only do this. But if this foot is out a little bit, you can start getting a natural hip turn instead of one of those forced hip turn. Now, how can you test this yourself? Put your foot straight out and try to see how much can you turn. And you'll find that you can't turn as much and easily as this when it's turned out. To understand this, I'll get set up this way. I have this as a rake as an alignment rod. I get set up, something like this. Now, as I get set up, all it is flaring this foot out, like this, turning it like this. Not saying step back, just say flare it out. And by doing that, you are now allowing yourself to get enough power here so that you can get through to here. But if the foot is like this, as I go through it, I'm going to try to get through. I'm going to wrench my knee. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on my ankle. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on my hip and lower back, because it can't get out of the way, but this is forcing it. And now I got this side resisting and this side pushing. That's just a perfect case of injury and terrible golf shots. So what we say is flare it out and air it out. Flare out that foot and air out that swing. And if you do that, it's a very simple way to start hitting the ball farther without changing your swing. This is a sweaty Mark Solomon in the Coachella Valley desert at the end of July, sweating his butt off, saying, I'm looking forward to speaking to you next week. Thank you, Troon Golf, for this majestic place. Turn on the air conditioning next week, please.